I become their mother when I'm in the classroom. So mothers, I give you back your children. Okay, and I pray for you every night after this point. Okay? And wives, I give you back your husbands. Okay? And I am envious of you because you have great husbands. And husbands, I give you back your wives. And I'm not envious of them, you know. But please take care of them until they sit for boards, okay? Stay tough on them. They get lazy, okay? It is not an easy board. Boards changed in April 2008. It is very difficult. They will be sitting the last year's RN boards, okay? So they really need to get in there. They may need your funds to get into a review course. But do be with them and pray for them and yoga with them and meditate with them and whatever makes your life go fun. Just don't party with them. You saw they have enough partying in the classes. Okay. The first two awards is to the Outstanding Student Award. This one was tough. They do not allow us to round off these awards, grade point averages, and these students held some heavy grade point averages, okay? So only maybe one or two that fell a little bit short along the way. But unfortunately, when it came down to the marks, there were only 2 students that matched with their grade point averages. And I do tough tests. If they haven't come home and tell you, they are not, after a certain level, they don't do multiple choice, they have to do essay all the way through. So any one of their tests could be 8 to 10 pages long. Okay? They leave out there with writer's cramp. In fact, one test can go 3 to 4 hours long. So for them to maintain that type of GPA, which we're not by school board law to tell out that GPA, but these 2 students held, if it were to round, a straight 4.0 average. The first student is George Bullock. Because he didn't do as well on a test. And I talked to him, I said, this is going to hurt you, you know, some things going to come in your head, make you want to go do some damage here. And he said, I was going to stick it out, this one's able to do okay. And I was like, you got some tough competition there, you know, I know you want this. But it just so happened it worked out for him in the best, even with that low grade. And he still maintained his average. Very intelligent young man. My only worry with boards with him is George is fast. He knows that computer. I sometimes look at him and he'd just be over there looking up like this because he'd be like, I be telling him, slow down, read the questions, but speed up, you do well, fast. The second student was Jacqueline Zapata. Many of those pictures where you saw her looking like a little monkey, she was trying to think what question, how to answer the question. And she did. Do the monkey for her. It's so funny. Congratulations. The next award is for leadership. When I came, I started the leadership program with the students. I believe that if you're going to be a nurse, then you need to know how to govern that floor and staff. Even though you're LPN, you will be over someone. You will have to admit a patient. You need to know what to do. You need to know how to deal with peer pressure. You need to know what, how are you going to write it up. And when it's your own peers that you have to do, that's a challenge. But there were 4 people, time and time in and out. They proved to be leaders. All of them are true leaders. But these 4, I could walk away, I could drop dead, and they'll still run the floor. And I had to give them acknowledgement this evening. The first of which is I can't pronounce her name, never could. I think it's Francois Pina. Now, if that's home, I'm going to be very disappointed because the county didn't pay for that, okay? The second student is Chris Gilmore. I'm sorry. film it, okay? We're gonna miss our grandpa when he goes. And he got, you know, all of them got gray hair. I don't know if y'all noticed it. They came in with this nice dark looking hair, you know, and stuff. And now they're leaving with all of this gray all filled in there. And my little Jackie, that dude didn't have one strand of gray. And the whole top is frost now. The next one is Miss Edeline Fontaine Murray. She's shocked at this one. This girl came to me and said, Miss Swindle, you know, you ain't letting me be a leader. Isn't that a part of graduation? I said, baby, I don't need you to be a leader. You're already a leader. I need you to learn to follow. So I put her on the following trail. Edeline came with such a strong leadership personality and capability till we put her in team. She took charge. And she forgot she had a team, and she just wanted it. But that's okay. That's a good leader. That means that nothing is going to fall through the cracks. But she had to know what they felt in following. So I had her do a lot of following on the floor. And now she's a well-rounded leader, which I told her. She was like, but you didn't tell me that. I said, well, if I told you everything, then you wouldn't have to be in school. And of course, it's no secret. The other, you know, we have a grandfather, and then we have a dad, and then we have a husband, and now we have a uncle, and that's George Boulette. These leaders are, you know, him and Chris and Jacqueline, I can send to trauma, right trauma here with a group of students. You know, we're not talking regular floor. We're talking where they may be broken up into smithereens, got to put them back together, and they take over and do what they got to do. So if that doesn't make a leader, I don't know what else will. Then, this year, it really was a disheartening moment for me because I got two students that, you know, I didn't know what I was going to do. One of which I knew might come to me as time went along. Because of the fact she talked to me when she was with another class and she had to take a medical leave from the program and decided to come back. And when she did come back, I didn't think she would make it through. Time and time she tells me that I'm her encouragement, largely because we share the same problem. With my last class, I took the class straight through and I was diagnosed when the class started with breast cancer in both breasts. I went through chemotherapy, I did everything, and nobody knew I was ever sick. But I came through it, and I was an inspiration to her when she told me what happened. And then she ended in hospital, and she actually withdrew from the program. And I called her while she was in the hospital and told her, you can do this. Survivors are around us every day. So I give these two awards a name against the odds. It's kind of hard to go through a job and go through a life and have to really succeed, have to go under the stress. And trust me, on her hospital bed, she'll tell you, I gave her the hardest tests that there were. I had no sympathy. Largely because when somebody's loved ones is in her hand, they are not going to have it. The family's going to sue her regardless if she do it wrong. So if she's going to do it, she must do it right. And against the odds, she came out. She didn't have the highest GPA, but this young lady held just seconds, you know, little tiny seconds, point whatever, from having the highest GPA with a whole 16 months of turmoil of illness, and still came out shining. And so it gives me pleasure to give this to Jessie and Dave